Welcome back to Dixie Alley Weather Center. My name is Caleb Crick. Today is Monday, September 29th, 2025, and I've got a lot of updates for you today, especially concerning Tropical Storm Imelda. This will become a hurricane over the next 24 hours, possibly as early as tomorrow morning. Luckily, though, most of those impacts will stay off of the East Coast as this curves out to sea over the next few hours. This will begin to curve and head in the direction of Bermuda. Possible flash flooding in the Carolinas will continue, though. Not expecting as high of rain totals as we were expecting maybe a few days ago, but we will continue to see the threat of some flash flooding with all the heavy rain we will be seeing over the next few days. Bermuda will likely see some major impacts from the system, but nothing we have to worry about at this time. I will also be talking about the storms that will be returning to the Dixie Alley as we go into this weekend and into the beginning of next week. Moisture will start to build in the Gulf. I'm not expecting tropical development with this system, but there is a slight chance with some of the models over the next few days, so I'll continue to track that with you as we go into future updates. But the higher storm chances will remain the farther you go off to the south. Areas to the north will remain pretty dry over the next few days. I'll also be talking about the future weather pattern we will be seeing likely as we go into next week. Temperatures will remain above average across much of the Dixie Alley. That is not a question. There will be a much above average temperatures for many areas, especially the farther you go off to the west. Drought development is likely also to the west, where areas won't be seeing any rainfall over the next couple of weeks likely, but the southeast will remain the wettest with daily chances for some heavy rainfall across the next couple of weeks. All this and more included in this video, so let's get right into it. Here's a look at a view from satellite imagery of the western Atlantic Ocean and parts of the East Coast. Let's take a look first at Hurricane Humberto. Major Hurricane Humberto still here, moving off to the north now. This is still a major hurricane, possibly a Category 3 by the time you're watching this. Right now it's a Category 4, but it is starting to weaken a little bit. You can see that eyewall replacement segment happening right now, causing it to look a little more disorganized, weakening a little bit. This will continue to weaken. This won't strengthen anymore as it moves faster off to the north and gets caught and turned into a normal low-pressure system. As this moves towards Europe, this will likely pull Imelda away from the United States. Possibly by the time you're watching this, Imelda is already starting to make its turn. Imelda will cause major impacts to Bermuda likely as we go down the road. This Hurricane Humberto is not likely to cause too many impacts to Bermuda at this time, besides some heavy rainfall and some possibly tropical storm force winds at the most. And you may be like, well, why is this system farther out to the west going to cause more impacts to Bermuda than the system that is right near it? Well, it's because Humberto is the stronger system. It's going to do what it wants. It's going to act like a normal hurricane. Well, since Imelda is stronger, it's going to be influenced by Humberto down the road and likely curve towards Bermuda and possibly cause more direct impacts, as it will take more of a southerly path and continue to intensify. This will be influenced by Humberto down the road, something we didn't see in the past, but we now see this now happening. Since Humberto is so much closer and a lot stronger than we originally thought, it will pull Imelda away from the United States, which is some good news for the United States. But the bad news is that this is flinging up a lot of moisture. You can see all these high clouds being flung up towards as far north as the northeast and New England states. A lot of moisture is continuing across the East Coast and will cause some possible flooding. A lot of moisture, but the main areas that will experience some major impacts from the system would be Bermuda down the road, but really not any major impacts expected along the East Coast, and that's really a blessing, a sigh of relief for the East Coast. Once again, I said that with Hurricane Aaron originally this year, since this made it a close approach to the U.S. coast and was a very strong hurricane. Luckily, this one is going to be moving away from the East Coast as well. But once again, the flooding will continue across much of the East Coast. Even though we're not going to be seeing direct landfall, direct impact with this system, we will still be seeing some issues with flooding down the road. And because of all that moisture that we are going to be seeing ahead of a tropical storm or hurricane Imelda down the future, even though this will be curving out to sea, it will still be causing some problems with flooding, like I said. Hence why the Weather Prediction Center has issued a marginal risk of flash flooding along the East Coast. We were expecting this to be a lot worse, possibly majorly worse in the future, because we thought this was possibly going to make landfall in the United States. But how the tables have turned. We aren't expecting as much moisture, and that's a good thing because of all the moisture we've already seen from that front that moved into the area. But we are expecting to see some possible flooding over the next couple of days. Maybe mainly in localized areas. Don't be driving through flooded roadways. Areas will be seeing flooding or heavy rainfall no matter what, but that flooding will be likely gone as early as tomorrow, where the Weather Prediction Center doesn't even have any area highlighted for heavy rainfall, so that is going to diminish as we go throughout into the day on Tuesday, expecting this system to curve out to sea and away from the United States, and we'll start to move pretty fast towards the east, and likely those outer rain bands will move away as we go into the day tomorrow. Probably early morning tomorrow, there will still be some lingering showers and thunderstorms along the coast, but not as much as we have been seeing over the past couple of days, not as much flooding expected as we go into the next couple of days. But just because the rain will start to diminish as we go into the next couple of days along the East Coast, it doesn't mean we're done. The 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center highlights a big area in the southeast remaining very active with a lot of rainfall over the next couple of days. That is because of over the next couple of weeks, and that's just because of all the rainfall that is going to start to build in the Gulf of Mexico and continue to train over the same areas. We will likely see an additional flash flood risk as we possibly go into the beginning of next week, with a lot of heavy rainfall that will build across much of the area, much of Florida, much of southern Georgia, much of, once again, along the Gulf Coast. Areas will be seeing a lot of rainfall. Areas that won't be seeing much rainfall over the next couple of days, over the next couple of weeks, would be up here in portions of northern Louisiana, parts of northern Mississippi, northern and western portions of Tennessee. Drought conditions will likely build as we go into the beginning of, or the end of this week and the beginning of next week. We may get a few showers and thunderstorms up farther to the north with that system that will be moving in from the Gulf of Mexico, but not all areas will see rainfall. Areas that don't see rainfall will likely start to experience some drought conditions, a lot of dry weather ahead, not as much moisture as areas down here in the East Coast. We have already, you guys in the East Coast really do not need to see any more rainfall. Just give it to areas in the West and we'd be satisfied. But once again, you guys are going to continue to, the main story is you guys are going to continue to see a lot of rain, especially along the East Coast and towards farther towards the South, main areas being Florida and Georgia and into the Carolinas. And then farther off to the north and west, areas will be experiencing a lot more drier and hotter conditions. And when I mean hotter temperatures, I mean hotter temperatures. Much of the Dixie Valley, all of the Dixie Valley is going to be seeing some form of above average temperatures as we go into this weekend through the beginning of next week and into the weeks following. Much of the United States under above average temperatures for the coming weeks. Areas that will be below average will be farther out to the west along the west coast. Seeing some near average or maybe below average temperatures. Areas over there in the mountains may even be seeing some snow, their first snow as we go into the next couple of weeks. But most of the Dixie Valley is going to remain above average. The farther you go out to the west, the hotter the temperatures will be. We're not going to be seeing like 100s or anything like that. We may see a few upper 90s, but once again, we're not in summer anymore. We're in fall. So above average temperatures doesn't always mean we're going to be nearing the 100s. But the farther you go out to the west, the hotter the temperatures will be, especially in those areas where drought will start to develop, especially with the lack of rainfall over the next couple of weeks. We will start to see some rainfall build across some of the areas, or some of these areas, when we into the weekend, into the beginning of next week with that Gulf moisture. But along the East Coast is going to be seeing the most rainfall as we go into the next couple of weeks. That's why the areas farther out to the east will be a little bit cooler, generally cooler. It doesn't mean they won't be seeing any heat, but there are times when you guys along the East Coast will be seeing some more rainfall. Or you guys probably won't hit those higher temperatures, at least as high of temperatures as areas farther off to the west. But once again, the main story is going to be those above average temperatures that we are going to continue to see into the next couple of weeks. Here's a look at some of the rainfall we could see across the Dixie Valley over the next couple of days and into the next couple of weeks. Here's a look at what the GFS model is showing. Here's by time Imelda is starting to move away from the United States off to the east. And away from areas like Florida and along the East Coast. Florida will be remaining pretty active with daily chances for some scattered showers and thunderstorms with some of that onshore flow from some of the back bands of this system. Rain will likely remain in the forecast, at least scattered through most of the days across areas like throughout most of the peninsula of Florida. And then as we go farther into the future, you can see that rain will persist. We'll likely see some flash flooding across parts of the peninsula of Florida over the coming days. with some of that onshore flow from that system that will be moving out, Hurricane Imelda that will be moving out. We'll still see a lot of moisture and even more that will continue to build as we go into the end of this week and into the beginning of next week. This is by October 5th. This is as we're going into the beginning of next week, likely by Sunday. You can see some of the models are, like the GFS model is hinting at some possible development. This might be a tropical storm, at least what the GFS model is showing with some of that moisture that will be building in the Gulf of America. Now, not all the models are showing this, and it is a possible scenario at this moment, but it's too far out in the future to really tell what's going to happen. All this moisture hasn't developed yet. But regardless, we will see a buildup of moisture, a lot of rainfall returning to areas in the south, areas that need some of the rainfall along the Gulf Coast. Some of the rain may reach up into areas like Tennessee and Mississippi and northern Alabama, which will cause those drought conditions to maybe diminish a little bit. But it's not going to be a lot of rainfall, not like areas along the coast will be seeing. Once going farther out into the future, areas along the coast, the southeast coast, are going to remain pretty active. We're going to see daily chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms. You don't even need to look at the forecast for the next couple of weeks. I'm just saying that every day there is a chance for some showers, some level of shower and thunderstorms across the area, especially in Florida and along most of the East Coast, and while areas off to the north and west will be drying out and seeing some of those drought conditions. And once again, with that being said, that is all the weather info I've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click the like button and subscribe for more updates like this one. I'll try to keep you posted on what's going on with Tropical Storm and future Hurricane Imelda as it makes its curve away from the United States. It will continue to cause some impacts with some flooding along the East Coast, but not as major of flooding as we were thinking a few days ago, which is really a blessing. Areas along the East Coast and in the Southeast will continue to see a lot of moisture that will especially build up as we go into the end of this week, into the beginning of next week, while areas to the north and west will start to experience some drought conditions with the drier and hotter weather. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into today's video and supporting the channel, and I will see you in the next one.